Hey guys, how's it going? So in Star Wars, we've got a ton of different species. We've got the Hutts, the Jawas, the Ithorians, Twi'leks, Gamorreans, you name it, we've got it. And each have their own pros and cons as a species, but who was the most dangerous and terrifying? Now we've covered who's the most violent droid in canon, and that's Mr. Bones. We've covered who is the most psychotic droid in Legends, and that's HK-47. But as for the most dangerous and terrifying creature in Star Wars canon, look no further than the Aberrant symbiote. Now, this was a species of alien that was responsible for the destruction of so many empires throughout the galaxy, resulting in Palpatine actually banning them from the galactic empire that he created. Or, in other words, Disney just thought of this when they took over. The Aberrant was this vile-looking specimen that crawled up your body and injected a long, thin needle into the upper part of your neck, right where the spine and brainstem meet. And in doing so, it would turn the victim completely insane. However, this comes with a catch. If they infect a weak vessel, for example a Jawa, then anyone nearby isn't in too much danger. However, if it infects a being that overpowers its control, such as a Wookie or a Jedi, then the infected can be unleashed upon a town or anything in its path for that matter. These creatures actually tried to control Luke and Dr. Aphra during an encounter with this evil queen from a distant planet. Now what they were doing on this planet and with this queen is actually really cool, and I could cover it in another video as it's a full series of comics. They were there to unlock an ancient Jedi artifact containing the personality of a Jedi named Roor. Now, in this whole mission, Luke ends up becoming prey to the queen, and so Han and Leia show up to save him. However, Han falls prey to the creatures by the queen's hand and ends up becoming controlled by the species, infecting his blood and brain, going rogue and turning evil. He later joins her men and ends up trying to kill Leia during the team's rescue mission, in which she kicked him where it hurts and put him to the floor with the help of Sana Starros. The symbiotes also infected the Wookie Bounty Hunter Black, who destroyed the queen's heavily armed guards, and then Luke Skywalker as a means of unleashing his full power. Now, I wish I had more to say about what they did to Luke, but I could cover that in a different video, and actually that comic isn't out yet. The continuation of where that comic leads will arrive in a few weeks' time, in issue 33. That can be covered later, but I really wanted to cover these evil little critters first. Also, check out one of the Queen's men. Now, if that doesn't look like Snoke, then I don't know what does. Why do you think the artists drew this guy to look like that? Is it by accident, by coincidence, or are they doing it on purpose to kind of allude to a different species and bring Snoke about later on? Maybe when episode 8 comes out, it'll all make sense, or maybe it's just a total coincidence. You know, actually, these guys remind me of those face-eating creatures from the Alien movies. They were creepy too. What's your favorite Star Wars creature, and which one terrifies you the most? Let me know below, and if it gets a lot of likes, meaning that most people want to see it, then I'll make a video about that too. I hope you all had a great day, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. I'm going to try to get another double upload today going, but if I don't, then be sure that there will be one tomorrow. Until next time, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you always.